Hi Mahjong lovers, this is Mahjong Samurai. Let's enjoy Mahjong world. Have you ever found yourself uncertain about whether to push or fold when an opponent declares Riichi? Well, I've got some great news for you. Today, I'm excited to introduce the precise push or fold judgment criteria. By the time you're done watching this video, you'll be able to make accurate judgments. Stay tuned and get ready for it. Here is the abstract of this video. When you are 1 away from Tenpai and facing opponent's Riichi, follow this chart. If the total is 1 or more, you should push. If the total score is 0 or minus, you should fold. Before we begin, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. I'm Japanese and a passionate Riichi Mahjong enthusiast. As you may know, Japan is at the forefront of Mahjong theory, and as a native player, I'm here to bring you the latest and greatest tactics straight from the source. Alright, let's get started. Push or fold judgment is a pivotal technique in Mahjong. Look at this graph. The red line illustrates the deal-in rate, while the pink line represents the win rate. You'll notice that as the player's rank increases, the deal-in rate decreases while maintaining the win rate. This exemplifies the effectiveness of push or fold judgment. By mastering this technique, you can simultaneously maintain a high win rate and reduce the deal-in rate. For beginners, the push or fold judgment is quite straightforward. When you encounter an opponent's Riichi, if you are Tenpai, you should push, and if you're 1 away, or worse, you should fold. This simple yet highly effective principle forms the basis of push or fold judgment. Novice, adept, and expert in Mahjong Soul, as well as players in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Dan in Tenhou, can greatly benefit from this basic theory. Now let's discuss the next step for intermediate players, particularly those at the master rank in Mahjong Soul, or at the 4th, 5th, and 6th Dan in Tenhou. The key point is how you decide when you're at 1 away from Tenpai and facing an opponent's Riichi. In this video, I will delve into the precise criteria for deciding whether to push or fold when you're in a 1 away situation against an opponent's Riichi. The precise 1 away push or fold judgment facing Riichi for intermediate players depends mainly on the 5 factors: acceptable tiles, hand score, turns, dealer opponent, and 4th place. Here is the 1 away judgment table. When the total point is plus, you should push. If it is 0 or minus, you should fold. Okay, let's take a closer look at this table. Acceptable tiles. If your hand is side weight and side weight or more, push or fold score is +1. 1 bad weight is ±0, and 2 bad weights is -1. For example, these hands are +1 hand. Note that the last hand is a better 1 away hand than side weight and side weight 1 away hand because this hand has more acceptable tiles. The last hand shape is called 2 floating 1 away shape. The classification of 1 away shape is important for tile efficiency. I will make a video about it and please wait for it. ±0 hand is here. It includes 1 bad weight called double closed weight. Below 1 is -1 hand. This includes 2 bad weights. As you can see, closed weight and edge weight is bad weight. Hand score. If your hand will be 3 han or more including Riichi, push or fold score is +1. If your hand will calling 3 han, it is ±0 and -1 for 2 han or fewer. Let's see the example hand. This above hand is +1 hand because this hand can be 3 han or more, specifically Riichi, Dora, and Red 5. The below hand is ±0 because it will calling 3 han, Dragons, Dora Dora. This hand is -1 because this hand will be 2 han, specifically Riichi and Dora. Turns. If it is 5 or fewer turns, push or fold score is +1, and from 6 to 8 turns is ±0, and 9 or more turns is -1. As the turns spend, your win rate decreases, and the probability of the opponent's sumo decreases, and safety tiles increase. That's why, as the turns progress, your inclination should lean towards the folding decision. Here, I want to share interesting statistical data. Win rate for side weight, first Riichi at 5 turns is 68%. Win rate for bad weight, like closed weight or edge weight, first Riichi at 5 turns is 53%, and win rate for side weight first Riichi at 12 turns is 42%. Bad weight at 5 turns is superior to good weight at 12 turns. This is amazing, isn't it? Many people intend to make good weight, but don't care about the turns. Be sensitive to the turns. Dealer opponent. This criterion is very simple. If the Ricci opponent is a dealer, push or fold judgment score is -1. If it is not, ±0. This is simply because pushing against dealer is risky. Fourth place. If you are in fourth place, push or fold judgment score +1. If you are not, ±0. To be blunt, Ricci Mahjong is not the game for making beautiful hand, nor getting winning hand, but the game for aiming to get a better place in the end. Especially in Mahjong Seoul or in Tenhou, the aim of the game is to avoid fourth place, due to the rule of point distribution. Therefore, if you are in fourth place, there is nothing more to lose, and you must strive your hardest to avoid fourth place. The action you should take is push. Okay, the explanation is over. Let's move on to practice. Practice 1. Now you are 1 away from Tenpai and you are facing Ricci. Should you push or fold, and what would you discard? The answer is push and discard 8 of bamboo. Let's introduce the correct answer with the chart. First, your acceptable tiles are side weight and side weight, therefore, +1. Hand score would be 3 Han, Ricci, Dragons, and Red 5, therefore +1. As you can see, the opponent's discard tiles, turns is now 9 turns or more, therefore -1. The opponent is not a dealer, therefore ±0. You are not in fourth place, therefore ±0. In total, +1 + 1 - 1 + 0 + 0 equals +1. The sum is more than 0, so you should push here. Note that you should push with 8 of bamboo, not 3 of circles. When you push, you should discard safer tiles. If you are uncertain about which is safer tiles, please watch the video about safety tiles. Practice 2. Now you are 1 away from Tenpai and you are facing Ricci. Should you push or fold, and what would you discard? The answer is push and discard 8 of circles. Acceptable tiles is -1. Hand score is +1 because of Dora 3. Turns is now 5, then +1. Opponent dealer in fourth place is 0. In total +1, therefore you should push. Well done. Lastly, let me explain the point to note. Exceptions of the chart. This chart is basically correct one, and you will make 90% correct action with this chart. Nevertheless, there is some exceptions. For example, in the South 4 round in Mahjong Seoul or Tenhou, point distribution is as shown, and you are in fourth place. You are 1 away and facing dealer's Ricci with this hand. The total score is -1, but you should push here. If you fold now, you are 99% in fourth place, but if you push here, you can be on the third or second place and avoid fourth place. Similarly, as in this case, it is sometimes necessary to adjust your decisions based on the current score situation rather than the chart. The strategy in South 4 round is important, and I will make the video, so I hope you to wait for it. Other exceptions of the chart are that not only 5 factors in the chart, but also other factors affect the push or fold judgment. For example, the safety of discarding tiles. The safer the discarding tiles, the more you should push. Other factor is the existence of other pushing players. The more pushing players, the more you should fold. I didn't include these factors because the criteria would be too complex. When you want to make a correct push or fold judgment with this chart, then you should use the chart as a baseline, then adjust the judgment with these other factors. The shortest path to growth in Mahjong is to learn the fundamentals first, and then experiment and learn exceptions through trial and error. Well done. That's it for today's video. I do thank you very much for your watching. I would be delighted if you could experience the allure of push or fold judgment. If you have any remaining questions, or if you'd like to make any requests for Mahjong strategies, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. It would bring me great joy if you could consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.